Picture this, Argentina, way before Tango and Malbec, like before the bustling cities and the famous football matches. We're talking about a time so ancient, it's almost hard to imagine. Before. Before Europeans even knew it existed, different groups of native people lived all over the place, from the big Andes mountains to the grassy pampas. These lands were their home, filled with diverse ecosystems and rich resources. These weren't just folks picking berries, some were serious farmers and artists. They cultivated the land, growing crops that sustained their communities. Their artistry was evident in the intricate pottery and tools they crafted, each piece telling a story of its own. They had their own societies, beliefs, and of course drama. Their spiritual practices were deeply rooted in their connection to the land and the cosmos. Ceremonies and rituals played a significant role in their daily lives, reflecting their rich cultural heritage. It wasn't all sunshine and barbecues. Tribes fought over stuff and who was the best. Conflicts arose over territory, resources, and power, leading to battles that shaped the course of their history. These struggles were a testament to their resilience and determination. Little did they know, things were about to get a whole lot crazier thanks to some visitors from across the ocean. The arrival of Europeans marked the beginning of a new era, one that would bring profound changes to their way of life. These early inhabitants left their mark on the land. We can still see traces of their lives, rituals, and beliefs at archaeological sites. The ruins and artifacts they left behind offer a glimpse into their world, preserving their legacy for future generations. Their legacy lives on in the names of places, cultural practices, and the occasional shared drink. Many of the traditions and customs we see today have roots that trace back to these early inhabitants, a testament to their enduring influence. Speaking of change, let's talk about some unexpected guests from a faraway land. Hold on tight, things are about to get interesting. The arrival of Europeans would set the stage for a dramatic transformation, forever altering the course of Argentina's history. In the 1500s, Spanish ships showed up on Argentina's shores, hoping to find gold, glory, and maybe a good meal. These explorers, driven by tales of immense wealth and the promise of new lands, embarked on a journey that would forever change the course of Argentina's history. They weren't exactly greeted with a welcome party. The native people of Argentina, who had their own rich cultures and traditions, were understandably wary of these newcomers. When the Spanish conquistadors met the native people, it was a culture clash, to say the least. The Spanish, with their advanced weaponry and different customs, were a stark contrast to the indigenous ways of life. Imagine trying to explain a midday nap to someone who's never heard of such a thing. The Spanish siesta, a cherished tradition, must have seemed quite odd to the native people. The Spanish set up towns, brought their customs and religion, and sadly also brought diseases that made a lot of native people sick. These diseases, to which the native population had no immunity, caused devastating epidemics. But Spanish rule wasn't all bad. It did introduce horses, cows, and lots of paperwork to Argentina. The introduction of livestock transformed the landscape and economy, while the bureaucratic systems laid the groundwork for modern governance. The Spanish also started Buenos Aires, which was a pretty boring port city at first, but later became a huge, busy city. Buenos Aires would grow to be a cultural and economic hub, playing a crucial role in Argentina's development. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is just the start of Argentina's long and crazy journey to independence. The seeds of change were planted during these early days of colonization, setting the stage for the nation's future struggles and triumphs. By the 1800s, Argentinians were tired of listening to a king who lived far, far away. They wanted freedom, and they weren't so sure about European kings anymore. The May Revolution of 1810 was the beginning of Argentina's fight for independence. Think of it as a super passionate tango, full of energy and drama. After years of fighting, Argentina finally declared its independence in 1816. But just like in a soap opera, the drama didn't stop there. Fights and power struggles happened all the time in the new nation. It took decades for Argentina to get a stable government and figure things out. But hey, at least they had empanadas. The late 1800s and early 1900s were a time of big change for Argentina. The country was transforming rapidly, and Buenos Aires was at the heart of this transformation. The city grew into a bustling metropolis, with new buildings, streets, and a vibrant cultural scene. The country's economy grew super fast thanks to selling beef, grain, and other agricultural products. Argentina became one of the world's leading exporters of these goods, and this economic boom brought wealth and prosperity to many. and getting money from Europe. European banks and investors poured money into Argentina, fueling further growth and development. This influx of capital helped build infrastructure such as railways and ports, which were crucial for the export economy. Immigrants from Europe came to Argentina, hoping for a better life. They brought with them their skills, traditions, and cultures, which enriched Argentine society. The population of Buenos Aires swelled, and the city became a melting pot of different nationalities. This mix of people and cultures shaped the country, making it a blend of traditions and dreams. Neighborhoods in Buenos Aires reflected this diversity, with Italian, Spanish, and other European influences evident in the architecture, cuisine, and daily life. Politically, Argentina went back and forth between okay times and total chaos. Sudden government takeovers, more takeovers, and changing the rules were all part of the political scene. The country experienced periods of stability followed by intense political turmoil, and changing the rules were all part of the political scene. Military coups and political upheavals were frequent, and the government often changed hands. This instability affected all aspects of life in Argentina, from the economy to social relations. It was a crazy ride. Protests and street demonstrations were common, as people voiced their discontent with the government and demanded change. Despite the chaos, the spirit of the Argentine people remained resilient. Through it all, Argentinians kept loving tango, good food, and their unique way of life. Tango, with its passionate rhythms and expressive movements, became a symbol of Argentine culture. Cafes and markets were bustling with activity, reflecting the vibrant social life of the city. And complaining about the government, it's kind of a national hobby. Discussing politics over a cup of coffee or in the streets was a common pastime, and it remains so to this day. The people of Argentina have always been deeply engaged in the political life of their country. Argentina's economy has always been up and down. It's like that friend who wins the lottery and then spends it all on something silly. The country was super rich sometimes, and then, suddenly, everything would crash. The Great Depression hit Argentina hard, showing that relying on selling stuff to other countries can be risky. Even with all the ups and downs, Argentina always bounced back. The country's toughness and can-do attitude always came through, even during the bad times. Plus, they still had tango, steak, and the hope that tomorrow would be better, or at least more exciting. You can't talk about Argentina without talking about Juan and Eva Perón, the super famous couple who everyone loved, and some people hated. Juan Perón, a charismatic military officer, became powerful in the 1940s, promising fairness and good times for everyone. His wife Eva, known as Evita, became super popular too, fighting for the poor and working class. People still argue about the Peróns today. Their policies, a mix of helping the people, nationalism, and social programs, changed Argentina a lot. Some people remember them as heroes, and others think they were too bossy. Whether you like them or not, the Peróns definitely left their mark on Argentina. Argentina has had some tough times, money problems, political scandals, and sometimes, even soccer-related drama. But through it all, the country has shown it's tough and keeps going. Argentinians are passionate about life, whether they're cheering for their soccer team, watching a tango show, or just hanging out with friends. Today, Argentina is looking towards the future while remembering its past. From the busy streets of Buenos Aires to the beautiful Patagonia, Argentina keeps surprising visitors with its beauty, culture, and mix of European and Latin American styles.